What is up, everybody? This is
What's
Recap
up?
Rewind. I am J-Lag, and I'm here sitting with
N-Bea. You're like, who are you?
And today we are getting right into
Today,
it.
aka at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Good morning,
By
guys.
the way, we literally just watched Riverdale
Yeah.
on our train ride
Train rides are little commutes out.
So it's fresh.
So fresh on our
Fresh
minds.
to death.
This episode is brought to you by Riverdale maple syrup.
Oh my god, this show got so Canadian this week. I was like, what the hell? They're legit talking about
Like maple syrup, like the entire. They're like, this town was founded on it. I was like, okay, it's very Canadian right now. So anyway, all right. So we're just gonna go right through the episode and then have some comments at the end of it. So it starts off with our little introduction.
Pretty intense little
Pretty
scene
intense
there.
little opening piece with Jughead talking about Thornhill Mansion being like the most haunted.
Yeah, and then like
place.
Cheryl's like this in slow mo,
slow motion scariness.
looks like some Lana Del Rey music video.
Yeah, she wakes up from a nightmare because basically she's like walking toward this casket and Jason's not in there, and then he's behind her like dead. And like reaches out to her, and then she wakes up.
That was crazy because I saw by accident, like on my feed, it showed up like that image of him.
I saw it too last night. I was like, dang
it. Like,
yeah,
is this turning into a zombie show?
I know. I was like, oh no, it's like Pretty Little Liars already.
Yeah.
No. So she wakes up from the dream and she's in his room. She's in Jason's room. She's like trying to sleep. She's writing his like little memorial speech.
It was cute. She was like on his bed.
And his mom's like, or her mom's like, what the you doing in here?
Yeah.
Because she's a total B.
Which I found kind of like
capital B.
I found kind of like funny because up until now we've only seen the outside version of her parents.
Right.
But everyone else is like they're legit cray cray.
Yeah.
Like we haven't really seen it yet.
The reputation is already like
But
bad.
this episode was like in the house, behind closed doors.
Yeah.
They're psycho. And poor Cheryl is like
she
looks normal compared to her parents.
Yeah, and she's obviously been affected by like that upbringing. She's like insecure. That's why she's bitchy. Like I get it. I get it, Cheryl.
So her mom's like, you're not gonna even talk at the funeral.
Yeah, she like literally, this girl's like spending all the entire night like writing like this little paper. She like grabs it and like crumbles it into.
She didn't even like read it. She was like, what? No.
She's like crunch, and then she just threw it to the side. So Cheryl's not speaking at the memorial. Then it cuts to Archie's slow motion shirtless shot of him punching a boxing bag.
It was good.
I was like, okay, of course they have to like put that right in
where
there.
Where did the boxing bag
right
come
away.
from? Like I'm pretty sure you didn't have that in your room before.
Yeah, did you trade it for your guitar? Like what's happened?
Yeah.
So then like his dad.
This kid has ADD though.
Yeah.
He needs to be the one on like Prozac because he's not even sleeping. The
Wake
poor dad
up.
was like, my kid doesn't sleep at night. He just runs or boxes or fucks his teacher.
Exactly. So he's like, well, now I want to be captain, so then I can study music.
It was cute. I was like, yeah.
And his dad's like, finally, you got there on your own.
No, but I don't think he did say that. I don't think when he saw him working out, he was like, you sure you want to do this though? Like,
yeah.
I think the dad understood that like his son might want like more than just one thing, you know?
No,
so I think he was like.
I mean, yeah, I think he just like gave his
what?
head a shake and like realized that like he needs to like figure his life out
like,
instead
he
of
has
just
a
like
lot of figuring
focusing
out
on
to
like
do. Yeah, one thing.
hooking up with his music teacher.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's got lots of things.
He's got love on the brain.
Yeah. So then we cut to the high school, and Betty, Jugs, and Kevin are talking about the fact that someone broke into Kevin's dad's house, his house, and he's the captain of he's like a sheriff. He's the sheriff of the town.
Yeah.
So he had all this evidence on the wall. So last episode, that's what happened, and like everything was taken and stolen. The one question that I have is, why does the house of the sheriff not have like security cameras?
That for sure. But also like, don't you have a police department? Like, why is all your like files at your house?
Yeah.
Like, don't you have a desk?
Yeah.
Like a proper like investigation room?
Yeah, and you
Like,
think
it's just a little weird.
And you think that the person that stole that stuff would be like, okay, this is not his only space to like.
this is a duplicate area.
Exactly. Like it's not like everything would be in his house. Anyway, they're like, we don't know what happened. We have to figure out like who did this, and so then.
And then Betty's like,
By the way,
She's like, BTW, I got
I
a
got a
date.
date. Trev, his name's Trev. I
Yeah.
feel like everybody's like Kev,
He's cute.
Trev. Like, yeah.
He kind of has a girl voice, though. Did you notice that?
You know what? He reminded me of like a mini Weekend.
Oh, okay. Did not
Like
see
with the
that
big
at
eyes.
all.
I don't know.
But okay, I'll take it.
So she's going on a date with Trev, who is someone who was on the football team.
He was.
Or he was.
He's the one that helped them get like the book.
Oh, is
Remember?
that
Because he was like, remember he was in the.
Oh, he was the one.
He was the one that like I left the team, but like I know where the book is.
I knew he looked familiar.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just didn't remember. So they go on the date, and she's like, maybe. So it's like a double reasoning. She's like mostly.
I didn't believe
it's
her, but then
because-
I'm like, true, she did do work. So
Yeah,
okay.
she's like mostly it's because I want to know more about Jason, which is pretty tight.
Yeah.
Because she's like using Trev to like get more information.
Yeah. She's like, how was Jason? He's like,
Also,
huh?
also we
He's
learned
like,
that
wait, I
like
can't tell you too much.
yeah. Also, we learned that Mama Betty's like on a spa weekend. Thank God,
She's like,
bye
she's
girl.
at some like women in journalism event.
Spa weekend, like she's at a
So
yeah, because she
freaking,
needs to
like-
relax.
Yeah,
like
she's-
take it down a few notches. Yeah. Then we get a slow motion shot of Archie playing football. So it's just like slow motion shots of Archie throughout the entire episode.
Yeah.
So this time he's playing football.
He's getting like mangled.
He gets like booked so hard. He's like douche. And then at the end of it, the coach says, if you want to make captain, it's basically between you and Reggie, who's like the other like
Yeah.
main guy, who's like we meet earlier in the
He's like a
season.
bully.
He's like a bully. And then cuts to Archie's dad, this poor guy, Luke Perry, Fred. He like goes to the
Yeah.
he goes to the diner and he's like, hey girl, Hermione, like
He's like, remember our date?
yeah.
It was really bad, but do you want to try again? She's like, nah, I'm married.
And she's like, you're
like,
married
"What?"
too. Like he's like, oh yeah, true, I
He's
forgot.
like, wait, what? He's like, but we already went on one date.
He's
Was
like,
that even a
mean
date?
did that date mean nothing to you? Like
No,
he's-
because she was texting half the time to someone else.
Yeah.
So no.
Like why would you think that was
And
a
then
date?
you guys left halfway through because your son was fucking his teacher. So what kind of date was that?
Yeah, I didn't understand. He like got so cheesy. He's like, okay, fine, I get it. It's like, yeah, you get it. Like you shouldn't be doing that right
Yeah.
now. What are you doing?
Also, I love that
Perry.
like Dylan is literally like
Stealing someone else's
like-
girlfriend in another show,
Yeah.
like 25 years later. Like I can't. So then it cuts to.
I love because yeah,
No, go ahead.
I love this scene. I think this is when it cuts back to like the high school.
Yeah, and
And
they're
they're
sitting
on
on
the
the bleachers.
bleachers.
It's very.
And then Archie's like, he's always like alone, and then they come to him.
yeah, yeah.
And then they're like, "Oh, you're back to football, whatever." He's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah." He's like, "I stopped music." He's like, "I'm just doing this run because like, oh, you're back to being boring now."
Yeah, she says
She books
how's
him so
she
hard.
like we've already like established this, but she gets like the best lines
Yeah.
ever.
And
She
then
goes,
I was like, "You're gonna know this one for sure."
she goes, how's life in the PG world? And he's like, what do you mean? She's like, post Grundy. Like,
And then,
and then she says, you're back to being boring.
but the best part was she was like, "What did he say?" He's like, "Grundy was my music teacher," and then she was like, "Most underrated line ever." Like,
Yeah.
He's like way more than a.
She's like way more
booty
than that.
tutor.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has some good lines. But then it was really cute because
Betty
Yeah.
Betty thinks that he's like distracting himself.
Yeah.
She's like, no, do you really? Are you
she's like,
really?
"You should do your music too."
Yeah, he's like, no, I can't focus on it right now. And then randomly out of
She's like, "Do you
nowhere,
want my Adderall? You can do a lot with
do you
it."
want some drugs? And then out of nowhere, one of the pussycats like come out of literally
Nowhere.
nowhere. He's like, I'm just trying to get my life sorted out. She's like, I can help you with that. Literally like walked down like 3 bleachers.
She's like,
Where
"What
did you come from? This whole time
Yeah.
she was like waiting for the right moment.
She was like up there, man. She was waiting for her cue.
And on top of that, she was like,
Totally
I got this.
feeling Archie.
Yeah, she totally wants ASD. Like,
And then I think he was feeling her too. He was like, "Oh, thanks
Yeah,
for helping me out."
she was like, I got this music teacher from like New York. His name is Mr. Castillo. Here's his number. She had it like on a paper. she puts
stuffs
it.
it in
She
his-
stuffs it in
I
his
was
jacket.
dying. I was like,
I was
"This
like,
looks so
that
sketch."
was planned. Like, come on, girl. But good luck, cause
So
yeah.
Archie and Valerie now, right? So yeah.
Archie and Valerie, and then Cheryl comes through as she does. Like perfect timing. She like comes in. She's like, with that attitude, like you guys are all invited to my brother's memorial. Here's the really sad looking invites. Like,
was like black.
they're like black and sad. And then Veronica like chases her down the hallway later, and she's like, oh, okay, I know you're being a biatch because you're burying your brother today, so just like be happy.
Do you feel like she's a little extra, Veronica, in this episode?
Yeah, I definitely see that.
I sensed it a little bit because I was like, I almost felt like they didn't know what to do with Veronica's character in this episode, and so they're like, okay, let's attach her to like Cheryl's,
And then
because it was a
attach
very
her-
Cheryl heavy episode. It,
Yeah,
it was a lot.
it was.
It was all about like that whole thing. So.
Yeah.
She kind of felt like even that scene when she's chasing her down the hallway, she's like, "But do you want to be friends though?" Still, I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
like
it was a little
bit
like
desperado.
extra, but then she's like,
It
okay,
was cute.
yeah,
It was cute, and I think like the show needs that. But I kind of just felt like, oh, okay, like
it kind of
true.
came out
The
of
side
nowhere.
story.
It's true.
Yeah,
She like ran after her again. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, we get it.
And then so we'll get to that after.
So then she tells her come over for a sleepover.
And I was like, sick. I'm
yeah,
like,
I was like, sick
It's gonna be
sleepover.
so
Yeah,
much fun. Like everyone's
like in a
gonna be
haunted
there.
mansion. It'll be fun.
All the girls are gonna be there. It's gonna be funny.
Yeah, so we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
Then there's another montage, and this is right before the title card comes in. So this is like super early in the episode. It's a montage of Archie and like football and playing music and like Jason's jersey and like all these parallels with
The
Jason.
music was like turning up.
And then he like picks up the phone at the end. He's like, Mr. Castillo, and then it like cuts to the title card. And then it cuts to Mr. Castillo, who
made him
is
sound
the guy
so
from Looking. He's
I
one of the
knew
guys
he
from
looked
Looking.
familiar. I knew it. I'm
Yeah,
like,
he's
where do I
like the
know this
main
guy
love
from?
interest. He's so handsome. So anyway, he's kind of like, you need to get your shit together. Here's some like sheet music, or you need to like learn to write down your sheet music and all your songs and stuff. But I'll listen to your songs on your USB for now.
Well, yeah, he's basically like, I don't want this. He's like, give me your sheet music by
Give me
tomorrow.
your
And
real
Archie's
thing.
like, what the hell? Like, tomorrow?
Yeah.
So then that cuts to...
So then it cuts to Cheryl's parents like showing the sheriff the
like,
setup,
the house or
and she's
whatever.
like, "We're basically inviting everyone who we think like killed
him, yeah.
Jason." And Cheryl's like, "You're doing this because you're like," she's like, "You're inviting all these people because you want to like know." She's like, talking about being selfish, and then the mom's like, gave her like a bitchy look, and she's like, "Shut the fuck up." And then what happens next?
And then the date with Betty and thing, no?
Yeah, Trev and Betty at Pop's Diner.
Yeah.
And so she gets the down low on the low down.
Down low. The low down.
The low down.
I think either way works.
That's the one. The low down on Polly and Jason, like a secret storyline where he basically says that
Huge bombshell though.
Yeah,
Like also he's
kind
like,
of.
oh, by the way, he goes, I have like one little thing.
one little quick story maybe doesn't mean anything,
Yeah, it might
but
not mean too much to you. But
pretty
like,
sure
he was a
Jason
drug
started.
dealer.
Yeah, pretty sure he started dealing drugs after he started dating your sister. So just like a little tidbit. So Betty's like, "What the fuck?"
She's like, what?
And then it cuts to Val and Archie in Archie's room, and he's like learning how to play music and write down his
Yeah, the
music.
scene was uber cute.
Super cute.
Totally they're gonna hook up.
And
totally.
Val's like totally
She's
come
like
for ASD.
in
Like
him.
he's like,
yeah,
"Duh."
she's like in his area.
in his
And then-
business. And then the
yeah.
dad like lurks up so hard,
She's like, you're such a good, like, you're so good. You're so
yeah,
smart.
it's like good job, like writing down these notes. And then like the dad's like, "What's going on in
Dude,
here?"
honestly, this guy doesn't even try though. Archie has no game. Like he doesn't try.
I
He
feel
just
like
is, and like the girls flock to him.
yeah. I mean, I think that's
They're
what
drawn
his
to,
character was like
his-
in the comic
yeah, I
book
think
too.
so.
He's just
I
like
think he's
lovable
so-
and like
He's
innocent
so not
and
thinking
stupid.
about those things. He's just doing his thing, and then like everyone's
That's
like,
probably
on his
why
D.
people are like attracted to him.
Yeah.
Because like he's so like doesn't realize.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Dad walks in.
Dad walks in. He's like, "Hey guys, what's going
He's
on
like,
in
oh
here?"
damn,
He's
my
like,
son's moving on already.
He's like, "Shit, she's his age. Like we're
Yeah.
good. We're set." And then it cuts to Betty asking her dad, because they're having like father-daughter
Yeah, the
time
dad's
this
like fixing his
weekend,
car.
about Polly. She's like, "You guys never tell me about Polly. What happened to Polly? Why is she not here?" And then so basically the dad says that Polly
Why?
tried to kill herself. Like Heike
Okay.
tried to kill herself. That's
the
why
dad
she's
says-
gone.
Dad says, I walked home came home, whatever, they had a fight.
Yeah.
I walked into the bathroom and your sister was like trying to kill herself.
Yeah.
Do you believe him?
Yeah.
You believe that she tried to kill herself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you not?
I don't know. I don't know if I believe him.
There's definitely something sketchy. We'll get to the end of it, but
Okay.
like, yeah, there's definitely something sketchy. I feel like there's more to the story, absolutely. And then it cuts to again Archie playing football, and he like gets like booked like 5,000 times, and then
Yeah, he's like
by the end of
he's
it,
like getting
they're
tackled.
like, Reggie's like, dude, watch your hand, and he's like, no, get my way, and then it cuts to like his like guitar hand like being all fucked up at the nurse's office, and he's like wrapping it up. V comes by to see him. She was super cute.
This was a really
She was like
cute scene too.
really adorable,
Yeah.
and I love these like little moments that he has with her, because I really feel like even in the comic books, there's this really great parallel that they have, like these little tiny moments, and it like makes him fall in love with her.
Yeah.
Like he really does start to feel this like real strong attraction toward Veronica.
I love how they booked each other in this moment.
Yeah.
Like he was like, "Oh yeah, I was with like Valerie," and she's like, "Valerie, what?"
Yeah, and she's like, "Don't worry,
What?
I'm not getting like jealous."
And he's like, "You're jealous."
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he called her out on it. It could have been so boring where he could have been like, "Yeah, it was just like about like."
True.
He's like, "Oh, you're jealous."
Yeah.
And she's like, "True, I'm not, but I kind of."
But I kind of am. Yeah.
Yeah, it was cute. And then she like wrapped his hand, and then like she was walking away.
And she like kissed it. She's like, "Mwah."
And then he totally was checking her out as she was walking away.
Checking her butt. Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Fucking Archie.
So what's gonna happen? We gotta
We'll
talk
see.
about that after.
Love these love
Like
triangles.
Valerie
There's so many
or
triangles.
Veronica.
There's so many squares.
Which V does he want?
Yeah, V plus V squared. Yeah, we'll never know.
V squared.
I mean, we'll find out. And then it cuts to Mr. Castillo being like, "Bye, sorry, dude, you are not good enough for me."
He's like, yeah, this isn't working out. He's
like, I don't know what
do
Grundy
this.
saw in you. Well,
she saw your.
we know what he saw. She saw
that imprint.
The print. And and he's like, "I'm not feeling that because I'm not down for that shit. So you're gone."
He was so mean. I was like, wow, that's so harsh.
He's like, just harsh, like right out there, like, you're not doing this anymore. Then cuts to awkward dinner at Cheryl's family's house.
Oh my god, this was such a weird scene.
Veronica's like, "So thanks for inviting me."
She's like, "Thanks for inviting me." She's like, "We didn't.
but-
I don't know why you're here." Like, straight to the
She's
point.
like, "I def thought there were gonna be more people here."
That's
So
what I mean.
did
Like
we.
when that shot like opened, I'm like, wait, what? There's no one else.
Exactly.
But after, like, it was cute because Cheryl like justified why she didn't invite everyone
that's true.
else. It was cute.
And then we find out about the sticky maple syrup
Oh my god.
business.
Oh my god. No, what did he say? He's like, no, she's like,
like-
this ham is really amazing. I can taste the maple or something.
Yeah, I was like,
And
dude,
I was like, is she
why are
making
there
fun of
so
the,
many
I was
references
like, is she
right now?
making fun of the fact that she was sticky maple like last
I feel
week?
like they're alluding to the fact, because then the dad was like, "You should learn about sticky maple, like about maple syrup. Your
She's
dad
like,
would
wait,
know."
I did though. Do you want to see the picture?
like, wait.
With the comments?
You don't even understand what just happened to me 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, so he's like, actually, we make maple syrup.
Yeah, like this whole house, like this whole like town, this whole house is
maple
made of
syrup.
maple syrup.
He's like, that's why they call it the Sweet River. Whatever.
Yeah.
Sweet
yeah,
Lake? Sweet River?
Sweet River Lake.
He's like,
or
you should
whatever,
ask her dad about that. And she's like, why?
She's like, why would she?
But she's
Why
like,
would
why
you know?
though? He's from New York.
No idea. And then
Did he like steal them? Oh, maybe he stole the maple syrup.
well, we find out like the drama between
Oh, really?
that happens later. Yeah.
Between Veronica's dad.
Not Veronica's dad. Oh, maybe
That's what I mean. She's talking about her. They're talking about her dad.
the third connection.
He's just pissed off at everyone.
He's
for
just
stealing
pissed. He like
syrup.
yeah, just like everybody owns syrup, like in that house apparently. And then at the end of it, Cheryl's mom blames Cheryl for basically like getting Jason like
Killed.
rowing him to his death.
Yeah.
Essentially, is what she says, like, which is pretty tight. And then it cuts to Hermione like closing up the Pop's shop or Pop's diner. And she hears like the door go, and then like no one's there, and she looks down on the floor, and there's a box. First of all, middle of the night, there's a box that lands on the middle of the floor. Probably shouldn't open it, just on a general level. Like
I thought it was just more money, so I was like, like grab that box, girl. I just thought.
so
assumed
it wasn't
was
money. She opens it up, and it's a giant snake. And so she freaks out and she calls Fred. Fred's like, "Okay, don't worry, like it's been taken care of." And she's like, "Dude, the Southside Serpents are sending me a message."
Why wouldn't she call her butler guy?
Well,
Because he knows the truth on her. Well,
Yeah.
kind of, but like, you know what I mean?
I mean,
It was someone else that you could have called, technically.
Def, but I feel like they're trying to set them up for
Yeah.
like this whole like Fred and Hermione like Loki situation.
Yeah.
Then it cuts to the apex of the entire episode.
Oh
the
my God.
Memoria.
Okay, so I was waiting for this moment, obviously. The
Betty
whole
with the
episode.
good hair, first of all.
Betty with the good hair. Her hair looked on point for
Yeah,
that scene.
she like brought it down and stuff. I was like, dang.
I was like, how are they gonna top this moment? Because I
Yeah.
was like, okay, the episode's been okay so far.
Yeah.
This is all on the funeral part.
Yeah.
How are they gonna make this like, oh my God, moment?
Yeah.
And they did.
And they did.
They did.
They did. First of all,
Veronica's
okay.
really extra because like she's like, you go girl. She's like, you wanna get ready? She's like, let's do our hair together. She's like, yeah. Like, what are you doing?
But
Just
then-
go sit down.
Yeah, to Cheryl.
Like, she was like so on Cheryl.
Also, like Archie would be the only person
Dude,
to show up in
why?
a fucking Letterman jacket.
Why?
Like,
I get
what
it.
are you doing
That's
here
like
right
his
now?
staple look in the comics. I get it, but you're at a funeral,
But
bro.
you're like, wear
Like,
something
even
black.
Jughead wore a suit.
Exactly. I was like laughing, and then he was like, "Here's your jersey back."
No, I love. Okay, but first when they all sit down, Veronica comes. She's like, "At least we're all alive." I was like, "Holy shit!"
She's like, "Right side."
On the bright side, we're alive, so
That's
that's
a good
good. Archie's like, "What?" And then he went.
Yeah,
Yeah,
then
it was
he
cute.
goes.
He went up to her mom.
And gives the
He's like,
gives
"This
the,
is, like, for
the
Jason."
Letterman. I always thought that was weird. I was like,
Yeah.
man, like was
'Cause, like-
he disappeared first of all, and they're like, okay, Archie, you can get his number.
Yeah,
like,
take his jersey. That's so tight. That would never happen.
would
Like,
never
no.
happen. So anyway, she gets it, and then she like touches Archie's face like a creeper / like he's a cougar magnet. He's legit
Yeah,
a
oh my
full
God. She's
cougar
like, you
magnet.
look just like him.
And
she's
everybody's like, what
he's
the
like,
fuck was
okay.
that?
He's like, bye. She's like, goodbye, Archibald.
Yeah, 'cause she had to like shake her head. And she's like, what?
She couldn't just call him Archie, but yeah.
But yeah, so then Veronica's like making sure that.
And I love how Kevin is always the voice of like what we're thinking as the
Yeah,
audience. He's like,
yeah.
did she just touch her hair?
Yeah,
what
because
the
like we're
fuck just
thinking the exact
happened?
same thing. And then,
And then
bomb drop.
Bombshell.
Bomb.
At
shell
Cheryl
drop.
Bombshell.
At Cheryl
This
Bombshell.
biatch
Comes through.
comes in
and it's like
wearing-
dun dun dun
Yeah.
dun dun dun. And then she's
in
wearing
her white-
full out white.
full out white lace dress.
White lace dress is the same dress that she was wearing. When
Whiteness
she,
Aberdeen.
Yeah, whiteness everything. She wore it when she like took him across the ocean
Yeah.
or the river.
And at first, like, when she's walking down, everyone's like, no. Veronica's like, no. She's like, I didn't choose that outfit for you. And then when she
It's
gets
like,
to, like,
when I was upstairs, you were
Yeah.
wearing black. I do not know what you did, but
Yeah.
you did something wrong.
and then when she gets to the podium, she's, like, about to talk.
Yeah.
And she's going to explain that, like, obviously this is the dress that she wore
Yeah.
on the day her brother died, but
But still,
the
it's,
mom's, like, about to glitch out, and Veronica looks at the
she's
mom.
like, you're gonna
she's
make
like,
it
You're going to make
worse."
this worse?
It's like, sit down. Just don't speak right now because we just like need to let her do her thing right
Yeah,
now.
which was cute, too, because, like, now they're besties, like, the mom and
Yeah,
Veronica.
it's true.
And then, so yeah, and then Cheryl says, she's like, I wore this dress, like, when I said goodbye to my brother. Like, this is always going to make me feel like he's
Yeah.
here with me. And it was cute. Like,
I
it
love
made
that you had like a
sense.
little wedding veil. Like
Yeah,
she
and
like
her
switched it
hair.
out. Like it was like, yo, you pulled out this dress. Like you had it ready to go. Like don't even lie.
She ironed that shit the night before when Veronica was
She's like-
sleeping.
She's like, should I go with the black dress or the bipolar dress? Like, I'm gonna go with the bipolar dress. And so then like she like gets really sad. She starts crying, and she was like, we did you wrong, Jason. Like you were like raised in the wrong family. I'm so sorry. And obviously the mom gets like super cheese, but we'll get back to her later.
This
We find out that Hermione gets a job with Fred because
Oh,
Fred
yeah.
like doesn't stop. Like he can't
he's
stop,
down for
won't
that
stop.
beat.
Betty and Jugs like go like, to investigate.
Yeah, so they go to the bedroom. They go to
They
Jason's
go
bedroom.
to Jason's bedroom because they're like, that's the place where all the secrets are held.
which is
Obvi.
true.
Cue in old lady in a
Oh my
wheelchair
God.
lurking in the
Literally
shadows.
on the train, I burst out laughing. She was behind the door
She was
in the shadows,
like
lurking.
turned around, like she was facing the corner, and then she had to like do the reveal. She had to like roll around.
And the door had to like open a little bit. Like get pushed so that she can come
this
through.
woman was stuck in this room. You're telling me she's stuck
Like, what
in
is she
this
doing?
entire
She's staring at the wall.
in the pure dark.
She's crazy. Obviously, we know she's crazy now.
So then she's like, she thinks that Polly is, or she thinks
Betty's
that Betty's
Polly.
Polly.
Yeah.
So then she's like, oh, come closer into the light. And she's like half blind. So then she's like, yo, girl, where's the ring? Good job, you didn't bring the ring with you.
And then Betty's like, what?
And then she's like, yeah, I gave you that ring. Good thing you didn't tell Penelope because she would have killed you. And then
You're like, okay.
okay, so
got engaged?
Polly got engaged. Shocker. And then you find out once again, Cheryl's mom gets pissed. Like, she's like beyond pissed now. She's like, Cheryl, get the fuck out of here. She's like, I'm gonna send you away because you're such a piece of shit. She's like, I can't believe you did that. You're so fucking selfish. So
But she didn't do anything. She literally had a good speech.
She literally, her
Like,
mom like
man.
hates her, clearly.
These moms are crazy. Like, what is wrong? It's like we're on menopause. Like, what's going on with these moms?
I don't know.
This is not a good look for moms.
Something's in the water, I guess. So then Betty goes back home and she's like, okay, so what the hell were you talking?
Dad was he's like, you dragged me out of there early. For what?
It's like, did you want to stay in that?
Yeah, did you want to stay? Because you were fighting with the dad. So like, chill.
So she's like, so what happened to everybody? And then she's like,
Dad, just tell me the fucking truth. Like, just please.
So then he like lays it down. He's like, my grandpa was killed by their grandpa, and that's why we have like bad blood.
She's like, Sticky Maple.
She's like, she's like, can you please elaborate? He's like, in the maple business. I'm like, the maple will never end.
Yeah, this sounded really stupid though.
I feel like
wish they said something else.
I feel like someone's
they were like dealing like firearms, or like they were like, you know what, it just sounds dumb.
I feel like second season, someone's gonna be found in like a maple syrup vat of like maple syrup.
It's very Canadian, and I'm not hating.
I'm not angry at that. And so then, he basically says, like, that's why there's like this whole like animosity between the two families.
And he knew about Polly being engaged.
Yeah, he did. He did. And he's like, those secrets just
But
continue.
like, how young was Betty when all this happened? Because I still feel like if you're a sister, you would know these things.
I know. How old is Polly? She's like
would've
45 years
told
old?
her. Yeah,
How old is Polly?
Like, where was Betty at this time? Like,
was she in the mental hospital? Like,
yeah.
Because like I can believe that too. Like, who fucking knows?
You're like, actually true.
Yeah. So then it cuts to Archie with Reggie at the locker or whatever, like with a coach, and he's like, "This was a very difficult decision, but Archie, you become the captain." Yeah. And then he's like, "Thanks, but no thanks, obviously."
Yeah, he's like, "I can't accept this.
I can't do it. I need to
take
focus
it back."
on my music. And then Reggie's like, "Yeah."
I'm so over Archie.
Yeah, he's making so many weird decisions. So whatever, he turns it down, but he's like, I still want to be part of the team.
Yeah, he still wants to be on the team, which is okay.
And Reggie's like,
sense.
Cool, thanks for that, whatever. He didn't say thanks though. And then it ends with Betty and Jugs talking about the dad and how he like might have stolen the evidence.
Well, because they're like, okay, she's like, Juggy. She's like, whoever wasn't at the movie theater that night. Yeah. Is the person that took the evidence.
Can be one of the suspects.
AKA
and she's
one
like,
of the suspects.
My dad wasn't there.
Yeah, I was like, ooh. I really went like, ooh. And then she put like the Coopers on the wall of suspects. I was like, damn.
Like, Jugs wrote it down and like she had to pin it on the wall.
Yeah. He's like, you pin it, baby.
He's like, you gotta do it. It means more. It means more. And then also like right at the very end, Jugs is like, so we gotta talk to Polly, which is like what I told you guys to do
from the start.
Like you guys should have done that.
Like from time. Yeah. That's your sister. Go visit her.
like why haven't you not done this yet? Like it's chapter 5, guys. Come on, what the hell's happening?
So that's gonna happen.
So that's the episode.
It was good.
It was a good episode. I think a lot happens, but at the same time, like, it's still a lot of build up. You're still starting to see like the little relationships and characters like interact with each other. You're getting a bit of history with the parents and like why they all fucking hate each other. So what do you think? What are your thoughts on this final?
On what? Like, are we doing predictions or are we doing
let's do quick predictions.
Are we doing like?
Do you think the dad had more to do with Jason's murder?
Oh God. The only reason why I don't think he had anything to do with the murder is because I feel like he's such a suspect. He's so typical suspect. He's the dad of the girl that, you know, he's going to kill her. He's
trying to protect her, yeah.
Okay, but I waited to drop this on you right now.
Okay, I'm waiting.
But I guess not.
Let's hear it, girl.
Kevin? Suspect?
Kevin, question mark? I definitely think so.
You think so?
I've booked him since he said that thing about talented Mr. Ripley.
Yes. And I heard your voice in my head and I was like, wait a minute. Mm-hmm. Why did he say that? Mm-hmm. When he went to the dad's house, he looked at the board and he looked at it like really like, huh? Like, he gave it, like, this weird look. And I was like, why
Like,
are you looking at it, like, that long?
That's crazy.
And then, like, as he was walking out, after
Yeah.
he got his dad's keys, he looked back again to the board. And I was like, okay. There's a lot of,
Something's
like,
up there.
emphasis on, like, him looking at this
Yeah.
board.
And those are little moments that I think you should be able to, like, yeah.
And I feel like, I
just
just feel like as a general audience, like, you would never expect him.
Well, yeah.
But, and also he knows everything, I feel like. He
Yeah.
knows, like, everyone's business.
He's basically
and
like
also,
he's the sheriff's
But I
son.
don't think it's, again, like with PLL, I don't think it's just him. I think it was,
Yeah.
like, a group of people that
He
killed
also
Jason.
found the body. Like, he decided to go to the lake to
yeah.
have sex with that guy.
Yeah.
You know, like, it was almost like
Yeah.
specific.
So he is a potential.
Yeah, definitely
To me, he's a potential.
I don't know, like, what his motive is at this point in time. Like, I'm not really sure, like,
Do you think it's going to be, like, a PLL thing where, like 5 people were going to kill him that night and then, like, one of them ended up just, like, do you feel like that?
That's
like,
definitely
everyone
possible,
hated him,
yeah.
so then, like...
I'm sure by the end of the
it's
season,
gonna
we're
be
going to,
like
like,
that.
see a few more suspects come through. Like, now we
Yeah.
have, like, the dad. We have maybe the mom, like,
Oh my
Betty's
God,
mom.
totally.
Definitely. Like, she had something
But-
to do with it. She's fucking crazy.
Or Grundy. Like, Grundy's a huge question mark, too. She's going to come back for
yeah,
sure. We don't
for
know what
sure.
the hell happened with her.
A lot's going to happen in the next little while, for sure.
I mean, it could be as simple as, like, Grundy killing Jason because Jason was going to tell everyone that he fucked his teacher.
True.
Like, you know...
But, like, a week of torture. Like, you always have to remember there was, like, a torture element to this. So, like,
Someone tortured him for a week?
Yeah, they, like, froze his body.
Oh, shit.
And then they defrosted and then they, like, threw it into the lake.
Oh.
So, like, something happened beforehand.
But he got shot on the July 4th.
No.
He got shot a week later.
Prior to, yeah, or after the fact, yeah, for
That's
sure.
weird. Anyways, what do you think about Polly and Jason?
Polly D and Jason. I think it's like gonna be an untold like Romeo and Juliet story, where like everybody
It's
from
gonna
the
be
outside.
like a Rhaegar and Lyanna situation.
Yeah, where like everybody thought that it was a really destructive relationship, where in reality like they like love the fuck out of each other.
I really think.
And like he's gonna run away with her. Or
I think he was gonna run away with her. I think he was trying to like plan that out for her. Maybe she was pregnant.
Ooh, yeah, I'm down for that.
Right?
Yeah.
Because what would make them so urgently like want to leave at that
Right.
moment? Like, why couldn't they just wait till they're done high school and then leave together?
Wait, hold on. Pause real quick. Just wanted to like, now that you're talking about like timelines and like how old people are, if Cheryl is Jason's twin and she's the same age as Archie and like the gang, then does that mean that Polly, who's the older sister of Betty,
Was the same age as Betty?
or was she
Or
like
she's older and dating a younger
Coon's
guy?
life?
Yeah, probably.
Hashtag Coon's
Yeah.
life. I feel like
Because remember they were like, "Yo, your sister was a freak."
she was
like-
freaky dicky.
Yeah.
But like, why would you date a younger guy? Anyway, whatever.
Why not?
Polly, do whatever you want.
Well, it sounds like to me Polly was like kind of like the nerdy girl, and
Insecure.
then like the jock like loved her, and
Came
she was
through.
like, "I'm down."
Yeah, but she was also like a senior, most likely, or like
Yeah,
probably
she
in
probably she was a
university.
senior, and I had to make Jason a freshman because they're sophomores now.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So
that's very weird.
damn, that's like grade 12 dating a grade 9er.
Like we all know that that's like taboozies.
Yeah. So anyways, that's
Anyway.
yeah, it's weird, but
Yeah, I just like thought of that just
there's a
now.
lot of holes because as I'm rewatching a few of the episodes, like I hear them say something and I'm like, okay, that didn't make sense because like yeah.
But yeah,
Anyways,
it's still a fun show to watch.
A lot of questions.
Lots of questions.
It's
still
fun.
mysterious.
At this point, I don't really. That's the thing. Like, I don't really care really
doesn't
who killed Jason
matter.
because Jason is not really a thing character to me, anyways. Right now, I don't
Yeah.
really care about him. I want to see this triangle with Valerie, Archie, and Veronica. I think that's
True.
gonna be so much fun to watch. And like where
They, like,
does
switched out
and like where
Betty.
does
She's
Betty
like-
fit into all of that?
Yeah,
you know
I
what I
think
mean. Like,
she's
is she gonna have like a
pre-ox.
low key eye on her on that?
I think she's just
Or
gonna take on
she's
like
gonna like
she's gonna take on the investigator role
Yeah.
and like be the one to get shit done, aka
Yeah.
like the Spencer of the group.
because she has too much going. Yeah, exactly. She's,
like-
the Spencer.
She's the Spencer with the crazy sister.
With the
like,
crazy sister.
it's
Yeah,
like
yeah. She
always-
has too much going on.
Yeah. She got no time for that, Archie.
Yeah. It's good.
So that's it. That's us,
it.
guys.
That's it.
Check us out. Subscribe.
Like,
Tweet us. We
Tweet
have
us.
a
We have
Twitter
Twitter.
account.
We
We're
have
gonna
a
open that
Twitter.
shit up. So it's at recap_rewind. And that's it. Bye.
bye.